Hey everyone, hope you're all well. For a while I've been having this fun thought of what if Superman got affected by the Scarecrow fear toxin? Like a super amped up version of it. And what do we see once he's affected by it? Like the consequences of it, what's led up to it, etc, etc. Well, in the video today, I'll be using Henry Cavill's version of Superman, so DCEU, so all the live action media canon, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League and Justice League. But I'll also be using the Arkham Scarecrow, specifically the Arkham Knight Scarecrow, because he's got the stronger version of the gas, and he's obviously a lot more, darker than the Arkham Asylum Scarecrow, so it'll be a lot more interesting to see the effects of it. Well, in this video, I'll be going with my thoughts on it. I'll be giving 3 scenarios for the versions that I think will be the most, interesting and most likely to happen if it was actually true that DC made a story of. Let's start with the first and probably the most likely one of them all. In the fight with Batman vs Superman, where Batman fights Superman, instead of him using the kryptonite smoke grenades, the ones that we see him use to obviously dampen his powers, then lead him up to using the spear to try and kill Clark. What if instead of the kryptonite smokes, it was the fear gas that he got from somehow beating the Arkham Knight version of Scarecrow? The way I kind of see this playing in my head is when they're fighting, like when they started out, Superman's trying to convince Batman to help him. He's started obviously using all those turrets in rubbish bins, alleys, etc. Then they've got thrown up. Fight continues as normal until Batman pulls out the smoke grenades. Then obviously he utilises them. Then Clark somehow starts getting affected by it, to which then he starts getting faint, he gets dizzy, he doesn't know what's actually happening fully. So then he starts looking around and he notices his environment's not the same anymore. It's kind of like he's dreaming. But the more and more he looks around, he notices Earth's not normal. It's changed to be more alien, more foreign, more, ironically enough, more like home. And then he realises it's somehow turned into what is being described as Krypton. And they looks a bit further and he notices Zod stood right in front of him. And he believes Zod's won. Superman's failed. He's lost everyone on Earth. Every small animal from cats to, God knows, large dogs. And then he realises he's lost people close to him as well. And he's hurt by that. He's hurt by losing Lois, Mark Kent. He's hurt that people are dying. And it's his fault that it's his fault they died. So we've seen in Batman vs Superman, he doesn't hold mental damage the same way Batman, Wonder Woman, the other League members, or just superheroes in general, like Captain America. We know he doesn't hold it the same way as others. He's vulnerable, but that's what makes him interesting. But I digress. So he starts somewhat breaking down. He doesn't know what to do. He looks confused. He looks otherworldly of sorts, you could say. So, as we see in Man of Steel, they can wail on each other, and they do get affected, but not too physically affected. So Clark starts wailing on what, quote unquote, Zod. And he's letting out the anger because he knows Zod can take it to an extent. But he notices from just the first punch alone, the first enraged punch, that he's already knocked out, or quote unquote knocked out. Then he looks around, because of his super hearing, you can hear voices still going on. You can hear conversations in Gotham or Metropolis. And he realises this isn't an actual reality. This is him hallucinating this. This is somehow Batman's work. I don't know why Batman would use fear gas. He may try to break Superman as fast as possible, but it is the most likely of sorts. I'm just kind of using Arkham Knight's Scarecrow's fear gas because it's the best we've seen, the most public one we've seen. So he's realised he's took a life. He's took a life he wasn't meant to, and he's failed contesting Lex's plan. He's became what Lex has told him he is. He's a god that's not all good, but he's all powerful. And it's ironic because Scarecrow's broke the Superman, not the Batman. Now, I think the second version is more unlikely to fit in the DC EU instead of, well, the grander scheme of DC Comics, Earth 0 or 1. I'm not too sure on which one it is right now. I'm still reading the comics. I'm still learning the characters more and more. I do love them, though. I'd like to point that out. But to fit inside the DC EU, it's going to be kind of a push. So we're going to put, let's say, Arkham Superman and DC EU Superman swap places. And the Arkhamverse, obviously, we saw it in Suicide Squad. It's going a lot more inside the comics. So let's say they've kind of swapped places, Batman and Superman, because obviously there's multiple times where it's implied they look similar to the point of, well, no differential signs at all. So let's say they've swapped places. Superman's helping. I don't know why I brought up the differential point of their appearance. Let's say Superman's taking care of Batman's rogues because Batman's, I don't know how you put it, off duty, off job. Whatever you believe the right word choice will be. Let's say Batman's incapable of fighting. I'd say is the best way to put it. Let's say he's incapable of fighting. Superman's taking care of Scarecrow because, well, he's on the loose in Gotham. Metropolis is all safe. So Scarecrow's running rampant and Superman's sent out to stop him. Say somehow he's managed to mix kryptonite, obviously something that would weaken his senses, to which we did see again in, well, both explained in Batman vs Superman and shown in Batman vs Superman. Let's say he mixed kryptonite and his fear gas, and it starts to affect him. Like, I don't know how he'd manage it really, because obviously kryptonite is radioactive. Clark will sense it once he is close. But say Scarecrow injects him. He's now kind of, well, obviously he's kind of hallucinating. He's scared. Well, he's seeing his fears. And I think one of Clark's fears from Henry Cavill's performance of it and his character portrayal of Superman would be if the Kryptonians like a not a massive army, enough to overwhelm Superman. A massive Kryptonian army came down to Earth. They've got used to the yellow sun. A good way to put it, actually. In the Flash movie, I know some people don't like that movie too much. I'm not fond of it or not that detestful of it. Either way, in that Flash movie, they've put a small army of Kryptonians, which should overwhelm Clark enough. And let's say he starts seeing those. He starts seeing the Kryptonian soldiers. And he believes they're destroying Gotham. They're destroying Metropolis. Destroying any city or some sort of civilization that Clark, we all know Clark loves. He believes Earth is his home. He loves Earth. He loves its people, no matter how much they detest him. And, well, he's gone. He's fighting all these Kryptonian soldiers. And he's kind of left Scarecrow. Because obviously he's not seen that. He's seen the odd point of it being the bigger picture, but then there's also no picture at all. which is something I do actually find very interesting about the Scarecrow's fear gas. But so he's fighting, quote unquote, all these Kryptonians, and he's like, Scarecrow, go. Scarecrow's loose again. But thing is, these Kryptonians don't exist. They could be massive bags of sand that he's knocking around. Well, sand's very unlikely, but something that could take the hits of Superman. It could be the Justice League. I like that thought. It could be the Justice League, like they've been sent to help because there's more villains in Gotham, or there's some of Superman's rogues, like Zod or Doomsday. Obviously, Doomsday is very unlikely, but not the point. I digress again. I apologise. But let's say he's fighting the Justice League. He's fighting Wonder Woman. He's fighting Aquaman. He's fighting Cyborg. So he's fighting all these. All the heroes are distracted. Obviously, Batman's away. And Scarecrow's free. He's able to continue his plan. He's, undisrupted. And he kills even one person. And Clark's going to feel that. He's going to feel the death of anything. I think the best mainstream showing of this is in the new Superman, David Cornsweat's one, where he saves that squirrel during the kaiju attack scene. I love that scene with all of my heart. And it is the best portrayal of it. It's the best portrayal of how Clark will react to life. And I believe Henry Cavill at the core is that as well. So him being the cause of someone else's or something else's death, it's going to destroy him. And it's just another way that Scarecrow is going to destroy Superman and not Batman. This instance is less likely and a little bit less entertaining, so to say. But the thing is with Superman and Scarecrow, because of how different they are, you kind of have to work way around the massive... There's definitely an intelligence gap leaning towards Scarecrow, but just pure power, you can't deny that Superman is just a lot stronger, no matter what version you use or anything. Now, this last one, granted, it will sound a lot like Injustice, and we all know no one who's a true DC fan, or at least respects like true superhero morals that come from DC, like Superman's hope, Batman's justice, etc., etc. We all know no one likes Injustice, but the idea of Superman being tricked into killing a loved one with Doomsday is interesting. And with DCEU, if he's heard, Doomsday's destroying the city, he's held by Joker with some kryptonite, but he's adapting to it, he'd obviously rush there as soon as possible. And let's say by the time he's there, the kryptonite's wore off. There's no way of killing Doomsday with kryptonite anymore. Clark is the only one who can now. And so he goes, he's fighting Doomsday, and, he's fighting Doomsday. He's taking the hits, he's taking some blows back. But the key thing is, Doomsday feels a lot weaker. So Superman believes he's done the right thing. He's got to Doomsday before anyone else can intervene. Because as we see in Batman vs Superman again, it's going to be a lot of callbacks to that, because it's kind of like an essential point in Clark's character. But we see in Batman vs Superman, the DCEU's version of Doomsday, he gets more powerful the more hits he takes by, you'd say, adaptation and evolution of sorts, because we see him get more defensive, and when his arm gets cut off, he replaces it for kind of a bone sword of sorts, obviously from Diana. And obviously Clark's aware of this, and he's heard Doomsday's back somehow, or Lex has made another one, but somehow Joker's held it by kryptonite, yada yada yada. He believes he's done the right thing. He's taking care of Doomsday before he can hurt anyone. But the key thing is, the whole time this is happening, where Doomsday's quote unquote being held, it's not actually real. As soon as Superman got there, he's being doused in like an amped version of said fear gas. And I believe it's hard to have this idea actually make sense, but it's an interesting idea because Batman, he's scared of disappointing his parents of sorts. He's scared of letting down Gotham. He's scared of losing people close to him, as we see in Arkham specifically, which is very relevant to this because we're using Arkham Knight's Scarecrow. We see him push away Dick from helping him with Scarecrow. Same with Tim. We see him kind of regret and he realises his mistakes with Jason. And in Arkham Origins, he's worried he's lost Alfred. So during all of this, obviously he's scared, but he's also human. He can be affected by the fear gas. Like, no plot holes, no need to make him more powerful. You've just got normal fear gas, normal guy, even though I digress again. Batman's in no way normal. He performs feats way out of the ordinary. But that's the important thing. Batman's still human. Clark isn't. He's Kryptonian. So kind of working that way through it's important. But back to the consequence of Clark being affected by the fear gas. So he's hitting this doomsday that he believes he's got to before it can get too powerful for him. And he's beating it up, he's beating it to near death, but then he kind of hears a voice from it. He doesn't hear like animalistic grunts, he doesn't hear kind of, deep, dark kind of screaming. He hears, let's use Diana, for example. He hears a female groan, he hears his name mentioned from this doomsday, and then he takes a step back, he kind of tries to assess the situation. He realises it isn't Doomsday. He realises this is Diana. He realises this is one of his best friends. And he realises Scarecrow's also in on this. He realises the fear gas got to him. And he's kind of wearing off to it now. He's in direct sunlight. His Kryptonian powers are 100%. And obviously he's regaining his true ability and all that. And he realises Diana's roughly about dead. So he takes care of Diana for anything else. He tries to stop the mistake. And he tries to keep up that image of him being human. The image of him being good. The image of him being something we should strive towards. Not something that randomly killed one of his best friends. But that's not his first concern. His first concern is, oh no, I've just beaten my friend, to death. Not that, oh no, how is this going to inspire people of Metropolis, for example. So he's helping Diana. He's not calling Scarecrow to Justice League. He's not told Batman. Well, Batman's probably already worked this out and attempted to at least try to get to Scarecrow before anything else can happen. But the Scarecrow's already gone loose. He's, again, kind of made Gotham crazy, for example. Let's say Doomsday was being held on a Gotham harbour and he escaped. He's caused chaos. But the thing is, with Superman, you're not going to get that effect as much with Scarecrow because they're two completely different characters of sorts. You can't venture into Superman going crazy. Many writers have. But you've got to make it make sense. But I really hope DC does make this idea at some point. And this video is going to be very, very hard to follow. But it's just me kind of ranting. And I'd like to kind of do it more and kind of learn how you like to structure it, how well it should be structured, and if I should kind of follow more true to a script of sorts. But yeah, it's just my thoughts on it, my personal take on it, etc., etc. But I hope you thought it was a fun idea, just a silly little watch whilst you eat your dinner or something. But yeah, I've just had this thought for a while, and I thought it'd be nice to share it with everyone.